if I can't give you an Oscar, at least I can offer you a cup of coffee.
Look, I'd love one, but I don't really have the time. I've got to rush. Important engagement.
Engagement? I thought we'd arranged...
I can't go breaking dates. I'll see my own way out. Bye.
Ben!
We can't waste time running around after a bunch of juvenile delinquents.
We all know that this is a PR exercise for the department, but we must approach these things in the right way. Now, as far as the public's concerned, this scared straight thing's a genuine attempt to help these kids. We know it won't work and the hassles we're going to have, but by the same token, we can't afford to be seen to be unsympathetic.
My goodness, are you all right?
I think so.
How am I supposed to feed the prisoners in the meantime?
Forget it, Mrs. Reynolds. You've got a storeroom in there. Use it. I'm sorry, lady. This is the only pool we've got.
Look, how about if I unload the stuff right here?
No
so
way! That stuff's not crossing this line.
Sorry, lady. There's nothing I can do.
Point is, the department's not responsible. Your fight is with Bullock, not us.
Now, half a mo. We're all owner-drivers out there. I've got to pay back $600 a month off my rig. Most of the other guys... Oh, sorry. Most of the other guys are in the same hole. Now, we're contracted to Bullock. If he doesn't work, neither do we. No work means no pay. No pay...
I know.
Try to see our side of it. Bullock's been good to us, and now he's getting a bloody raw deal.
Believe me, that's not true.
Then what is?
I can't tell you, but there is a reason.
Maybe, but it doesn't help us, does it? We're right back where we started.
Will you at least let us bring essentials in?
Well, your blokes give Bullock back his contract.
They can't.
Then I reckon the trucks are going to stay right where they are.
I have a prison full of women to feed.
And I've got a wife and 3 kids. They like to eat too.
I don't like this any more than you do. There's nothing worse than tea without milk first thing in the morning.
Oh, yes, there is. Cold toast and no butter. Sticks right in here.
The Lord knows what we're going to do tomorrow. I told Mrs. Reynolds I can't pull food out of thin air.
We knew what the department was playing at.
Oh, it's all right, Mr. P. Auntie May didn't mean it. Don't get upset.
I'm not upset.
Look, I know just how you feel, and I reckon it's okay for men to cry.
Oh, thanks, love, but I promise you I'm not crying.
Oh, it's onions. Oh, geez, I'm dumb.
Look, you go and get the meat, love. I'll finish this.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least we got meat and veg. We won't starve.
Just the same, I miss my cuppa.
Oh, yuck! What a pulp! I think somebody died.
What's the matter?
Oh. Well, it wasn't me. It's coming from in there. You smell it. It stinks. Gotta hold your nose, though.
Oh, that meat's higher than a kite.
Feel the heat. The cooling system's broken again. Bloody thing.
But the motor's still running.
Right.
You mean it's just been heating up?
What are we gonna eat?
Would you believe onion and potato casserole?
Here we are. Good morning, Wentworth Detention Centre. Yes, she is. Just hold the line a moment. It's your daughter.
All right, I'll take it here. Hello, Pip. Can you make it quick? I have to... What? What did you say?
They tried to run me down, Mummy. There was a car out there waiting for me.
Are you sure? I mean, Annie couldn't have been an accident.
It was no accident.
You all right?
Yes, I'm all right. I'm just a bit shaky, that's all.
I'll come home.
No, don't be silly. And please, don't worry. I've called the police and they're on their way. And I told them about your windscreen. They probably want to talk to you.
Are you sure you're all right?
Quite sure. Stop worrying, Anne.
Just take care of yourself.
Bye.
Something wrong? I want to see Chaucer the moment he steps through that door.
You people must realise that you're in no position to dictate terms. Now, the simple fact is that we exercised our right to change suppliers.
Fair enough. We're exercising our right to picket till somebody gives us a bloody good reason not to.
Yes, I've met troublemakers like you before. Are you the leader of these men?
We don't have any leaders. We're all in this together.
Well, once and for all, you're going to move these trucks.
Will you tell us why Bullock got the can?
That is none of your business.
Like hell it isn't.
Very well. You leave me no choice. I shall call the police. They're used to dealing with your sort.
You can call in the army, mate. You can call in Bob Hawke, the bloody Governor-General, but no one lays a hand on our trucks.
Right. And we had to toss the whole lot. I've made a veggie casserole for lunch, but it's the evening I'm worried about. There's been a bit of grumbling already about the milk, and... Are you feeling all right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was listening.
I was wondering, I mean, how long is this going to go on? What we have isn't going to last long.
Then we'll just have to take things into our own hands. If all the staff can bring food in their cars, then we might have enough to hold out.
I'll do my best. I'd better be off then.
Thank you, Milton. Mr. Chaucer?
Thank you, Mrs. Morris. That will be all.
I prefer to dismiss my own officers, if you don't mind. Since Mrs. Morris is Deputy Governor, I have no objection to her staying.
Well, I have.
Right, Meg?
Well, you've stirred up this hornet's nest, and now look what we've got on our hands.
Now, just a
The
moment.
Minister was quite satisfied with our solution.
Was he indeed?
And now we've got a bunch of riffraff trying to dictate to us. I've told them I'm calling the police. I will not allow standover tactics.
Really, I should have thought you were the expert at standover tactics.
I don't follow you.
Then let me make myself very clear. It was one thing when your friend smashed my windscreen, but when you try to kill my daughter...
For God's sake, woman, what are you talking about?
In a hit-and-run accident, then I will fight you to the bitter end. Is that clear?
Your daughter. My God. I swear I didn't know. Is she...
She's not badly hurt, but that doesn't excuse it.
Is there anything I can do?
Yes, there is one thing. Ring your friend Bullock and call him off.
Yes, of course.
And do it now, or I promise you I'll see the two of you put behind bars where you belong.
At least she seems pretty hopeful about meeting his gardener character. Well, if Howie picked him, I'd say he's a hotshot in court. But poor Jen, she's still look pretty nervous.
Wouldn't you be? She's got to go into court tomorrow knowing her whole life is going to be on the line.
I thought it tasted pretty good, Bat. Yeah, you would. Real cow fodder. Hey, I thought plants and things were supposed to be your friends. Yeah, they are. Yeah? Well, if you love them so much, how come you eat them? You're a murderer or something. No.
Where are you off to?
Well, I thought Jennifer could use some company and maybe I could trade her a good luck charm.
Leave her alone, will you? She'll tell us if she wants company. She's got enough on her plate at the moment.
It's more than you can say for the rest of us.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah?
I'm not a murderer, am I?
What?
Well, Lexi says that veggies are plants and plants are me friends. So if I eat them, then that means I'm...
hell! There's enough air between her ears to keep a skin diver underwater for 2 hours. She thinks she's murdered an onion.
Cut it out, Lexi. It's not funny.
I think it's bloody hilarious. Hey, strangled any carrots lately, Daffy?
Well, what else was I supposed to eat? I was hungry. Besides, they were cooked and already dead.
Well, what do we do when the veggies run out? That's what I'd like to know.
That's what we all want to know. But those blokes at the gates aren't letting any food pass.
Merv's really worried.
It could be weeks or months.
Oh, don't start that again.
Oh, it's all right for you, madam. You can live off your fat.
Hey, Willie, catch. Maybe you can hatch it and we can have it for tea.
Amazing, I didn't think you were the domestic type.
If you want to fight, at least wait till I put these down. There you go.
Thanks.
Hey. I don't know about coffee, but with a martini you stir rather than shake.
Bad jokes are the last thing I need right now, Ben.
If you want me to go,
No, please don't go. Thank you for coming over. I was afraid Anne had asked you to babysit.
all my own idea. Cross my heart.
I don't know. I feel so vulnerable. I don't know how Anne stands it.
Your mother's a very strong, self-reliant woman, Pippa.
Meaning I'm not?
Why do you always make comparisons? I think you're handling this just fine.
Well, if that is a compliment, thank you. Why is it always an ordeal between us?
Because you refuse to face the truth.
Which is?
I'm incredibly handsome, intelligent, and sophisticated. And only a fool would refuse to have dinner with me.
Wouldn't it be a little bit crowded? Me, you, and your ego?
I promise you one thing, though, Pip. I'll never bore you.
No, I don't think you would.
Well, then, what about dinner tomorrow night? No tricks, no games, just good food, good wine, and me. Well?
Like you said, only a fool would refuse.
And you'll be reimbursed from petty cash until I can get emergency funds from the department.
Are the picketers likely to stop us if they know we're carrying food?
They're not likely to find out if we keep the boots of our cars locked. Any more questions? There is one more thing before you go. As you know, our youth rehabilitation scheme starts tomorrow. I don't know about you, but I admit to being nervous.
Do we have a final guideline to work from?
Yes, the girls will spend a week here and they'll work alongside the women with equal status.
It's ridiculous. We haven't got the cell capacity for a start.
They'll go back to their families in the evenings.
Oh, so it's to be a bit like work experience?
In a way, yes. They'll take their meals with the women and spend all recreation time with them.
And that's when the women will hold their aversion sessions.
I see, and do we pick up the pieces when one of these kids gets bashed?
That's hardly likely. The women are obviously willing to cooperate.
Oh, well, that's all right then. I can't understand why I was so worried.
How many are we expecting, Mrs.
4. I think that's enough, don't you?
It's too many. At the rate we're losing staff around here, there won't be enough to police them.
But we're not going to, surely. I mean, if this scheme is to work, they must be left alone with the women. It's pointless if we're with them all the time.
Oh, come on, they're kids, for God's sake, not hardened criminals.
The whole point of this scheme is to stop them from becoming hardened criminals. They have to know what they're facing, warts and all. I'll double the rounds, but I will not jeopardize our success by mollycoddling these girls. Is that clear?
Perfectly.
As I understand it, they're all volunteering anyway.
That's right, Joyce, and if they can't take it, they can always ask to be sent back to court. But while they are here, we're all going to do our damnedest to make this scheme work. And I mean all.
She's attractive, intelligent, she's got class. That'll impress the jury.
And she happens to be innocent.
Well, that's an extra plus.
You don't think we can get her off, do you, Eddie?
I think it'd go either way, mate. Regardless of how good a witness she is, the evidence is stacked against her.
What about that bitch of an aunt? And the bribe and the fact that
Come on, Howie. You know I can't use any of that. It's all hearsay.
You could if you put me on the stand and I introduced it as evidence.
You're joking. The prosecution challenge everything you say.
Yeah, and the judge would direct the jury to disregard it. But how can you disregard
what
something
you've already heard? You're taking one hell of a chance.
I'm not going to say I took the money, just that I was offered the bribe.
You'll still be facing contempt charges.
I'll risk it.
The whole thing could backfire and I can end up in the carpet as well.
No way. Now, you just play it innocent. I'll bring in the evidence over your protest. All I ask is you give me enough time. Right?
Right. You're sure you know what you're doing?
I'm giving Jennifer Hardy a break. God knows she deserves it.
Is it that late already?
Oh, it's past 6. Have you had a busy day?
I was watching TV. I must have dozed off.
I thought you were going job hunting today.
Please don't lecture me.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just trying to understand. Would you like a drink?
Oh, no, thanks. I feel a bit sick. I haven't eaten.
Terry?
I know. I meant to look for a job, really. I did, but I felt awful and I was worried about Mummy. And I've still got this week's money and my holiday
Oh, no,
pay,
come on, that's not the point.
And I was lonely. I'll look tomorrow, I promise. Now, how about helping me get some dinner?
Okay.
I'll just go and put some clothes on. I don't think woman in a dressing gown is really my part.
Joycey, I can't find my recipe file.
What?
I said I can't find my recipe file.
Oh. Oh, well, have you looked underneath that table over there?
But I never put it... Well, what's it doing there?
I wouldn't have a clue.
Joycey, you didn't.
What are you talking about, Mervyn?
I always know when you're fibbing, your glasses start to steam up.
Oh, they don't, do they?
See, I caught you.
All right. I did send your lovely recipe off to the cooking contest.
Oh, no.
Well, why not? You're a wonderful cook, Mervyn.
You're biased, love.
Well, maybe. But that's up to the judges to decide.
Well, this is the last we'll hear of that, then.
Rubbish. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if you won that contest.
You know something? Neither would I, if you were judging.
Anyway, I told her straight what I think about him. And playing around with kids' lives like that, it's ridiculous, don't you think?
I wouldn't know. Can we have that off? It's giving me a headache.
Oh, yes, of course. You should tell me you didn't like
The last thing I need right now is funeral music.
it. Yeah, well, anyway, I also made the point that we are short-staffed enough as it is. Now, Wentworth can't run on its own.
All I hear about is Wentworth. Don't you care about anything else?
You know I do.
Then stop reminding me that you're working and I'm not. I don't need you to tell me that I haven't got a job.
Terry, I'm sorry.
And you're sure you don't mind doing that Tuesday night?
Oh, no, that's fine.
Hey, push pig, I've got feet I can walk.
Cut it out, Nikki.
Sounds like our guests have arrived.
Hi, I'm David Russell, probation officer.
Bloody creep.
I love you too, sweetheart.
Up yours.
Behave yourself, Nikki.
Oh, we expected you hours ago.
Sorry about that. One of our little angels decided to go walkabout.
I had to go and I couldn't find it.
Nice one.
I need to go now.
I don't believe her. She's a wimp looking for a place to have a good cry.
Hey, swank your own. First of all, you'll be inducted and then searched before you shower. Is that clear?
What do we have to be searched for? Can I keep my lollies?
Yes, but your valuables will be taken from you and kept here for safekeeping.
Hey, the screws are running a rip-off racket.
That'll be enough from you. I'm Karen. I've got some reports for the governor here. They might help.
Right, of course. Is that all right, Miss Barry?
Oh, yes, I'll manage. You go through.
You come this way.
Nikki, just cool it, okay?
Okay, Four Eyes, what's your problem?
I didn't think we'd be in this quick. They must have settled. Ben Fulbright.
Elliot, you old warhorse, how are you?
Fine. How was it?
Oh, not bad. Change of plea bound over for sentence. Just as well, really, he was as guilty as hell.
Ben, do you know Howard Simmons? He's briefing me.
No.
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do?
I'll go and see Harding and tell him we've got another witness scheduled.
Good.
So, we're taking the Hartley case.
Yes.
How's it look?
Oh, we have a few surprises.
You crafty old buzzard. What about after this? How are you fixed?
Don't tell me you're offering me a case.
Oh, well, normally I wouldn't presume, but...
But you've got your hands full, that PMS appeal, and this one is less glamorous, right?
Actually, it was the Graham case I was offering.
You're not serious.
Yes, well, personal reasons. I can't think of anyone better than you to take over.
Look, don't think I'm not grateful, old man, but to be frank, I wouldn't touch you with a barge pole.
Elliot, this case will create legal history. All the work I've put in, the publicity.
Exactly. It's your case, Ben. The public know your name better than the Graham girls. What sort of reaction do you think it'll be when the press announces that you've washed your hands of it?
But it's not like that. And with you to take over, well...
Ben, if you walk away, it will seem as if you've lost faith in the cause. I'm sorry, old man, but no one wants to defend a lost cause. Especially me.
And to be honest, I don't even know what she's doing here. She's an incorrigible little bitch. I'm sorry, but that's true. And you can't afford to turn your back on her for one moment.
You don't think she'll benefit from this scheme at all?
Frankly, we think she'll do her best to stuff it up. I'm sorry if we sound cynical, but David and I have had Miss Lennox up to here.
But the way you handled her in reception, I mean...
Believe me, the last thing you do is let her see she's getting to you.
We've tried every way we know how to get through to Nikki. Sometimes you've just got to accept that there are some kids you can't help.
Then what's she doing here?
Well, Our guess is it's the acid test. If by some miracle you get through to her, well, then the scheme will work on anyone.
Oh, well, being forewarned is forearmed, I suppose.
Thanks for telling us. What about the others?
Little Lisa's already scared out of her wits. She's not a bad kid, but both her parents work late hours and she's easily led.
Jo will take some watching. She's a cop-out merchant with a chip on her shoulder. She used to be a drunk. Now she's just a thug.
What about the other one, Moran?
Poor Cindy. Well, she hasn't got a lot going for her and she's desperately lonely.
If you break through the wall, well, maybe.
What a challenge, isn't it?
Well, you've got 3 good chances of breaking through, Mrs. Reynolds. But as for Nikki, forget it. She's a lost cause.
I bet Mrs. Barry seems okay.
You reckon? She's a bloody dropkick.
The whole thing is one big joke. Why'd you come then? I mean, you
Listen, Dipstick. I'm here because I wanted to write. Nobody made me. Doing it for laughs, got it?
Sure.
Hey, that's mine.
Back off.
Give it back. Make me.
Bloody hell.
Bitch! Ouch! No!
Can't we get out of here?
Give it to me or I'll mush your skull. No way! Just let go!
What on earth? Get up, both of you! All right, explain yourselves.
Sorry, Mrs. Barry, but I don't like people nicking my stuff. What?
Shut up, James. What stuff?
Me jumper. Me mum gave it to me.
Liar. I told you to be quiet. Now give Lennox her jumper.
But it's not hers. I believe her, you stupid old bag.
Give it to her.
Tom.
Right. Now you've got exactly 2 minutes. You've wasted enough time already. Hurry up.
It'll look better on me anyway. Oh, get you. Nobody gets me. Nobody.
And you can wear your own clothes in the way that remand prisoners do. Apart from that, you'll be subject to all the rules which govern the prison. And for those of you who haven't been listening, I suggest you study the rule book very carefully. Ignorance is no excuse.
You that moron? Moran, you got no excuse.
That's enough. I'm warning you right now. No one here intends to make any allowances for you. You'll be punished if necessary.
Oh, yeah? What do? Stick us in the pound?
If I have to.
Good. I can use a sleep.
Anyone else feel that way?
We're not scared, if that's what you mean.
Good. But let's get one thing straight. You will cooperate. If you don't, you'll be sent straight back to court for sentencing. Is that clear?
Sure.
Right, Mrs. Barry, you can take them to their work areas.
Come with me, girls.
Not you, Lennox. Put it back.
What are you talking about?
Don't try it on me, Lennox.
What?
Now.
Okay.
Now get to work.
And in the bedroom itself?
There were 3 sets of prints. The victims, the defendants, and the housekeepers.
Mrs. Goddard.
That's correct.
And the murder weapon, Exhibit A?
1 set of prints. The defendants.
Now, Inspector, could you tell us what other conclusions led to the charging of Miss Hartley?
Objection, Your Honour. Counsel is, by his own words, calling for conclusions.
Sustained. Rephrase the question, Mr. Harding.
Yes, Your Honour. Would you summarize the evidence against the defendant, Inspector?
Certainly. Well, the defendant was found with the body. Her prints were on the murder weapon. There was blood, the victim's blood type, all over her hands. She was disorientated but made no attempt to deny killing her grandmother at the time of the arrest. And despite exhaustive investigation and examination, there was no sign of forced entry or any sign of any other persons having entered the house.
Plus, of course, the fact that the defendant is the sole heir to the victim's estate.
That's correct.
Thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Gardner?
Inspector Grace, I shan't keep you long. Now, you say the defendant made no attempt to declare her innocence.
That's correct.
And yet we have statements made later that day where the defendant claims that she couldn't have killed her grandmother.
Those statements were made some 6 hours after the arrest. I was talking about initially.
Ah, initially. Isn't it a fact that the girl was in shock and couldn't say anything coherent, let alone defend herself?
She was shaken. I didn't think she was in shock.
But you're not a doctor.
I've seen enough cases over the years to recognise shock when I see it.
I repeat, you're not a doctor.
No.
Did you call a doctor?
I didn't think it was necessary.
You didn't think? All right. Let's move on. The murder weapon.
Yes?
One set of prints. That didn't surprise you?
No. Obviously, the old lady was used to Miss Hartley doing everything for her. That would include, of course, turning the lamp on and off.
So the prints are in a pattern suggesting just that she turned the light on and off.
No, sir. The prints were in a pattern suggesting a fist clenched around the lamp, suggesting it was being wielded like a club.
And this is Willie.
You got a bad smell under your nose or something?
Okay, let's get to work.
What do you want us to do?
Cindy, you can load the dryers, and Nikki, help me with the folding.
Take away clothes from the washer, you load the dryer, and then you turn it on, all right?
So this is all the clean stuff, eh?
That's right. Now pull your finger out and get folding.
Good, because I don't like sitting on dirty floors.
You're a rude little madam.
Listen, punk. I've had enough of you already. On your feet.
Make me. Come on, try it.
Look, kid, you're way out of your league. If you don't want me to rearrange your face, on your foul!
Don't you try that again, Lennox!
You little bitch!
Then get wise. I'm here because I did fancy 6 bloody months in a youth training centre. As for working, shove it up your nose.
You horrible child. Where'd you learn such language?
No violence, eh? Well, Reno forgot to tell her.
Here, how's your hand?
Well, she didn't break the skin. Just as well she could have rabies.
I just saw 2 of them kids up in the print shop.
Ah, Lexi. And Cindy?
Mine.
And the one on the floor is, Jaws. Sorry, Nikki.
What are you doing down there?
Minding my own business. Why don't you try it?
Ooh.
Hey, Lexi, what do you got in here?
Oh, dirty nappies from maternity. God, they're gross. I'm not loading them.
How about I give you a hand?
Fine.
There you are, kid. Now you really are full of it.
And then Mother called me and asked me to come to see her. She said she was bitterly unhappy and Jennifer was becoming impossible. I think she wanted to get rid of her, make her leave.
She's lying.
Objection, Your Honour. Witness is expressing an opinion.
Objection sustained. Mrs. Formby, you may not say what you thought, only what you know to be fact.
I'm sorry, Your Honour.
Now, Mrs. Formby, about your rift with your mother.
It was my fault. I suppose I wanted to lead my own life. I felt I'd lost Mother when my brother was killed and Jennifer came to live with us. Jennifer was so demanding. I heard from Mother every week, asking me to come back. I'll never forgive myself that I didn't.
Thank you. No further questions?
Mr. Gardner?
No questions this time, Your Honour, but I reserve the right to cross-examine.
Very well. Mrs. Formby, you may leave the witness box.
She is a walking candidate for a 10-year sentence.
Is that what you want, Cindy? 10 years behind bars? Because if
No.
you do...
Look, I'm not like her. I don't even know her. Well, except for the court. You're right, you don't know me. You're not in my class.
And what class is that? Kindy?
That's pretty good. Did you borrow a brain while I was out?
You really are asking for it, kid.
From you lot, take a look at yourselves. A bunch of burnt-out old cons who didn't even have the brains not to get caught.
Burnt out? I'll have you know I was the finest fence around.
Around what? A barnyard?
You are so far up yourself, it's a wonder you don't disappear. We're not all a bunch of burnt-out has-beens.
Oh, yeah? Well, they're old. Maybe they couldn't run fast enough. But you just got caught. That makes you an even bigger dipstick than what they are.
Look, I was framed. I am innocent.
Yeah? You're getting dumb every minute. They don't really put you inside if you're innocent, do they? Not if you got any brains.
Oh. You think it's that easy to get away with something?
For me, yes.
Look, kid,
Your skull's 3 foot thick, but try to understand. We all thought like you did, and we're all right here behind bars.
Maybe you just didn't think big enough.
How big do you want it? May here was the best cat burglar this century.
Yeah? What did she do with all those cats?
Gee, May, were you really famous and stuff?
Yeah, well, I suppose I was, love. But look at me now. You can't beat the law. They've got all the time in the world.
But if you were really big time...
You don't believe that bull? Come on, moron, think about it. You don't think they'd stick us in with anyone dangerous?
Maybe, if they thought it'd teach us a lesson.
Exactly.
This a tough crim? Huh, all blubbergutsy. What about you, Nora?
Don't mess with Nora, Lennox.
Now, come on. What'd you do? Rob a piggy bank?
I'm a killer. I've murdered 4 people.
Oh, sure. Where'd you do it? In your dreams?
3 defenceless hitchhikers and a bloke. Right here in our very own rec room.
But you did fight with your grandmother, Jennifer.
Yes, but no more than in other families. I'd been caring for her for 5 years. I just decided I needed to get away for a while. But I loved her and she loved me.
Objection, Your Honor. That is a conclusion.
Overruled. Continue, Mr. Gardner.
Thank you. Now, Jennifer, you heard your aunt's testimony that her mother, in fact, asked her to return to the house.
That's a lie. Nana said she'd never wanted to hear from her again. She even destroyed her letters.
Objection, Your Honor.
It's true. Nana told Aunt Harriet if she married Formby, she'd never speak to her again. She told me so lots of times.
Young lady, please. Now, since no one can corroborate your evidence, it's hearsay, and therefore inadmissible.
But Mrs. Goddard knew. She was there when Nana fought with Aunt Harriet.
Mrs. Goddard?
Deceased, Your Honor.
I see.
Please, listen to me. I could never kill anyone, least of all Nana. She was all I had. I know now I should have listened to her. She was so frightened.
Tell us why she was frightened, Jennifer.
She had a nightmare. At least I thought it was a nightmare. Now I know she was right. She said someone was trying to kill her.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
It's true, I swear it is.
Objection sustained.
And I didn't know they were going to steal it. I just thought it was a mate's car.
Oh, how bloody stupid are you? You better keep your nose clean, kid. You wind up in here, we'd eat you for breakfast.
We don't need amateurs, Lisa. It's hard enough for professionals to stay out of here.
How would you know?
You say something? How about you tell us what a hotshot you are?
Shoplifting.
Wow.
3 counts. Oh. They wanted to put me away for another 6 months.
Shoplifting, right under the nose of the store detective, I suppose.
Real bright. 3 counts, eh?
Why didn't you just wear a sign, dear?
I'm a shoplifter, please arrest.
Oh, go ahead, laugh. I couldn't give a stuff what you think. The whole bloody world's gonna blow itself to pieces anyway. Then we'll all be dead.
Oh, not another nuclear war dropout.
You don't think there's gonna be one?
Oh, maybe, but I can't stop it if it comes.
Neither can I. So why can't I just do what I like in the time I've got?
Cop out, cop out, cop out, cop out.
Oh, shut up! All of you.
Okay, so you waste your life, figuring you're not going to live long anyway. But what if there isn't a war? What are you going to do with the next 60 years then?
She'll end up in here. Thank God I'll be out by then.
And Cindy, dear, what about you?
Hey, let's hear your family story. This is bloody hysterical. Oh, it makes me feel good, though. I got framed. These wimps just walked right into it.
And we were worried because we got caught. Come on, Cindy. What terrifically well-planned master crime are you responsible for?
I broke into a lolly shop.
You what? Oh, you're kidding.
I wanted some sweets. You're really getting off on this, aren't you? Look at you. You're pathetic. Gutless wonders. Well, you don't scare me.
You haven't told us your story yet.
You want to hear? Okay, only don't put me in their class. I don't like being rubbished. I had a good thing going. Raked in all I needed. Pension checks.
Oh, real big time. You robbed letterboxes, did you?
Nah, you do that, not me. I wait till they cash 'em. Me and a mate for extra muscle. You get these odd Jerrys on their way back, a couple of $100 in their pocket. Sometimes you don't even have to thump them. You just grab them real hard and they can't wait to hand it over. Sometimes you've got to bash them. Get them on the ground and stick the boot in a few times. The blind ones are the best. You can really lay it into them and they can't identify you. It's a hoot. Either way, you get your money. Nobody's laughing now, eh? Well, in that case, excuse me, but I'm pretty tired of your game. Move. Sit, move.
Oh, God. That's not a child. It's a monster.
We've got a problem on our hands. I think we can handle the other three without nicking something else.
She frightens the living dead, I tell you.
Sure she does, and she knows it. What we've got to do is break through and find out why.
Well, here she comes.
Hi. Okay if I sit down?
Yeah, sure, it's a free world.
Where'd you get that idea from? How's the food?
It's okay.
You don't have veggies all the time, do you?
No, but there's some sort of strike. We're not getting any supplies through. You like a lot of salt?
No, but I thought they might. Hey, don't worry, I wouldn't leave you out. That makes us even. Thanks for the company.
I've been waiting for you.
I haven't done nothing, honest. Please.
I got a little job for you.
No, please get one of the others.
But I don't want one of the others, Bub. I want you. Because you'll do exactly as you're told.
I don't want any trouble.
Oh, no trouble. Just a few odds and sods I can't get around here. And you're going to bring them in for me.
Me? But what if the screws find out?
Well, make sure they don't.
But I'll get in trouble. They'll send me to win Leighton.
Then you'll have to make sure you do it right. Now, I'll give you a list before tea, OK? Right, now get out here. Yeah, you'll do.
So you fired the gardener, George Barker?
We retired him. George is, well, he's simply too old now to care for the grounds.
I see. Weren't you taking a lot for granted?
I don't understand.
Well, you live in the house, but in fact it belongs to my client, does it not?
Objection, Your Honour. Counsel is well aware that the will is being contested.
Sustained. Confine your questions to this case, Mr. Gardner.
Yes, Your Honour. Mrs. Formby, isn't it a fact that your mother hated you and disowned you after your elopement?
How dare you?
Your Honour, I protest. Mrs. Formby is not on trial here.
Perhaps she should be.
Oh, really, Mr. Gardner?
This has nothing to do with the case.
It has everything to do with it. We're talking about life imprisonment.
For your client, not my witness.
Order, gentlemen. Confine yourself to evidence, Mr. Gardner, not supposition.
Mrs. Formby, when did you arrive in Melbourne?
I don't understand.
No, isn't it a fact that you were already here at the time your mother was murdered?
Yes, but I didn't know at the time.
Then why did you let everyone believe that you had arrived after her death?
I didn't. They just assumed.
And did you see your mother at the time? Sorry, before her death?
No, I did not. But that doesn't mean I killed her. I had no reason to.
No further questions, Your Honour.
You may step down.
Your Honour, I have one more witness for the defence. I call Howard Simmons to the stand.
Oh, she'd probably be more of a hindrance than a help anyway.
Yeah, keep her away from me. I'd rather do it myself.
Absolutely. You want anything done, do it yourself.
Unreal. Better than the telly, this is. You must think I'm real dumb.
What makes you so sure we think anything about you?
I'll cut the garbage. I've heard it 100 times, Dogface. I'm supposed to say I'll show you I can, right?
Suppose you tell us.
If you want me to work, why didn't you say so? I'm sick of doing nothing anyhow.
You can fold if you like. I'll load the washer.
No way, Jose. There's only one job I want around here. Hers.
Cheek. Okay. Help yourself.
You think I can't do it, don't you?
Oh, no, I'm sure you can. So come on. Let's see a little action.
Yeah, action. Hey, moron, get folding.
Keep an eye on her, will you?
Where are you going?
Oh, I burnt my hand. I'm not going to let her know. She'll send me up with gutless.
Come on, you creeps, move it. You couldn't go any bloody slower if you tried, moron.
I'm going as fast as I can.
You're going slower than a wet weekend. Why don't you do the world a favour and get off?
Now knock it off. You wanted to work, now work.
A bunch of nerds like you, forget it. I'm bored, gutless. I want some real action.
Why does she have to be such a pig?
I reckon she was just born that way.
At least you lot treat me like a person. With her on the outside, I reckon I'd be better off in here.
You think so, Cindy? Now just say that you do wind up in here. Who do you reckon's going to be right here to meet you?
You mean?
Oh, it's a sure bet. Nikki Lennox will be in here making life miserable for you. There won't be any way to go home to get away from her. Now you think about it.
And the evidence given by the gardener, Mr. Barker, plus your other investigations, convinced you that your client was innocent.
Absolutely. And it wasn't long after that I found out who really did kill the old lady.
Objection, Your Honor. Witnesses seek to mislead the jury by confusing the evidence.
Harriet Formby offered me $5,000 to stop this case. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that is a confession.
Order! This is a court of law and I demand order.
Your Honor...
You know better than this, Mr. Gardner.
I assure you I had no idea, Your Honor.
With respect, Your Honor, the bribe was offered to me, not to Mr. Gardner.
Objection, Your Honor. Unsubstantiated and irrelevant.
Don't try my patience, Mr. Simmons. You're treading dangerously close to a contempt charge.
Does the court want the truth or not? When I didn't drop the case...
Your Honor,
Simmons,
please.
I was bashed by two hired thugs and told to keep my mouth shut. Thugs who were hired by the Formby.
This is outrageous.
The jury will disregard these remarks.
Harriet Formby is the one who should be on trial here, not Jennifer Hartley.
And I order that they be struck from the record. You, sir, are in flagrant breach of the law.
So this is where you hang out, eh?
What are you doing here?
Jeez, you're not real friendly. Thought you wanted to speak to me. Okay, I'm ready to listen.
All right. So you want to know what it's like to waste your entire life in stir? I reckon I should know better than anyone.
Not that, bull. I want to know how it felt. What kind of buzz you got when you did it?
What?
You know, when you wasted those people? Must have been fantastic.
I try not to think about it.
Jeez, I think about it all the time. What'd it be like to kill? Do their eyes go all glassy, like fishes?
If you want to know so badly, find out from somebody else. Now get back to work.
You're disappointed in you, Nora. See, you're the first one.
First what?
First one who could give me a fight. Maybe even beat me. Except I've got my little mate here.
Put it away, Nikki. I'm not impressed.
Nah. Sticking's different to killing, isn't it? I want to know how it feels. And if you don't tell me, I might just have to find out for myself.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses